everyone. I know I've gotten a couple of questions about what we have in our calving kit, so I wanted to kind of go over everything with you guys and hope you find it beneficial. Some people might say it's a bit overkill, but we have a lot of mentors that suggest things, so we just want to make sure that we're prepared for whatever comes up. Our vet is over an hour away. That's another reason why. I just wanted to make sure I have as many things as possible on hand for anything that's going to come up. So the first thing, I'm just going to go along the line, is Battle Drench. And this particular drench, it provides essential nutrients. It says high levels of vitamins and immediate high energy source. The mentor that got us this said you can only get it from this particular company, so I'll make sure to post where you can get this. She said it also does burn when it goes down, so she suggests using a drenching gun. So we have one of those. Then we have apple cider vinegar and blackstrap molasses. Both of these also are more mild form of energy to put in their water. What I did is I go ahead and I heat up some water and put both of these in there, and that gives her an energy boost right after calving, or even before, like if you notice they're going in labor. This is hilarious. This is KY. That would have done nothing had I had to pull the calf. This was for the goats. I'm definitely going to be ordering a gallon because this is just funny. Speaking of pulling and lube, we have gloves. We have the regular standard surgical gloves. We also have the one that goes up to the armpit to be able to pull calves. Me personally, what I would do is I would wear that long one and then put on a tighter surgical glove over the top of that. I find those long gloves kind of like, I have like small hands, and it ends up being almost like a mitten by the time I get in there, and I can't do anything with them. So when you have the smaller glove on there, it keeps your digits separated. I have rubbing alcohol to be able to sterilize anything that I need to sterilize. Speaking of sterilization, I have a very basic surgical kit and a stitches kit in case I need to do any minor surgery. I have iodine. This is the iodine dip little kit. This is a particular item. I'll post this as well. It is like a super iodine. So I mix a little bit of that with this iodine. And then I find these cups, a lot of you guys have like little kids or, that take medication. And these work great to be able to dip umbilical cords. I have my shaver. This is great to shave their underside and their teats. It just makes after the afterbirth to be able to clean it off so much easier if they're clean shaven. Let's see. Okay, now let's get into, let's keep it with this over on this side. This is an awesome disposable staple set. I would definitely prefer to do this than doing stitches. So that goes there. Now we'll get into like medication and a couple other things. So I have Megco gel, and then you also need to have the gun that goes with that. I have Bovacalc, and you need a huge balling gun like this because these pills, these boluses, I should say, that they're that big. So I gave her a Bovacalc. Here's a handy tip. Write on the packaging when you administered it, because you're going to give the first one right after they freshen or calve, and then you're going to give the second one 12 hours later. So writing the time on there helps keep it organized. This is Bovacalc. This is a generic, same thing. I read the instructions. I'll be right there. Hold on. Yep, same thing. It's just, this is from Valley Vet. Valley Vet did not have this particular brand. Again, it's the same thing. I don't know though, as far as price-wise, if they're comparable. I can look into that for you guys. The next thing we have in here, so I have Q-tips. I have the smaller balling gun to be able to give also this vitamin energy boost. I have a headlight because you want to have both your hands free, and so that having the headlight really helps to be able to look into areas and not have to be holding a flashlight. I have pH strips and I have ketone strips. The pH strips were totally invaluable. I read several research studies. We want pre-fresh cows to have a pH less than 6.5. 2 nights ago, she was like the worst of the worst, like 9. Yesterday, I was only able to get her down to about 7.25. Anything less than 7, 6.5, we're good. But again, I was only able to get her down to about 7.5 yesterday. So I knew she was at severe high risk for milk fever. And sure enough, she started going down with milk fever. But I knew that because I was testing her pH. Ketone strips, you're testing for ketosis. I have 2 IV sets. The IV sets, are to be administering Calphos 2 with potassium. I have 2 CMPKs, just in case. I have dextrose. The reason why I have 2 is like, what if I drop one? Then I'm in a whole lot of trouble. So I always have at least 2 on hand. I have 2 different sizes of needles in case, one doesn't work. I have a larger one. I have tubes for drawing blood also in case the vet wants me to draw blood and take it down to lab. If he was saying, I'll post what he was talking about though, but he did say there was something that could happen that he'd need a blood sample, and he's like, you can draw a blood sample. I don't have to come out to do that, and I ship it down to UC Davis for him. So there's that. I have, when we were talking about dipping the navel, I have these. I love these. They're very handy. They're short pocket scalpels, and I use these to trim the umbilical cord before I dip. And these are for suturing. These are my favorite ones because they have, you cut the suture string here, and then this holds the needle, and they also have the locking. So these ones are my favorite for using for sutures. These are great for blocking any bleeders, for being able to grab tissue and hold on to it. Again, they have the locking. These are great. Stethoscope to be able to check for I already checked, her heart rate when I thought she was going down with milk fever. I'm able to check the calf's lungs to make sure they're clean and clear. I was able to check his heart rate and be able to monitor that. So these are invaluable. These are also great for checking for displaced abomasums. So having these is very important. I went over meds, IV meds, again, CMPK, dextrose. I have propylene glycol. This is good to have on hand, not only for the cows, but also for the goats. Right after your cow freshens, it's important to take her temperature because you need to kind of know where her baseline is. She was running a bit cold when I did take her temp, and a high temp would indicate she possibly hasn't cleaned out fully, and we need to get in there and help her clean out, and she might be getting like minor infections. It's important to have a heat lamp, and then this is an idea I came up with. So this was one of my old sweaters. Each arm I made into a goat coat, and I'll post pictures of our goats last year in goat coats, and then the center part where is perfect for a calf. It was pretty warm today, so he didn't need it. But these are always good to have on hand, and it's cheap. It's an old sweater. You can get it at hospice or just use one of your own. Having a bottle ready because our vet wanted him to have, so he was born anywhere between 3 o'clock this morning and 5 this morning. He wants him to have 4 quarts by the time the sun goes down today of colostrum, just to be sure that he's got his full amount of colostrum going. Extension cord, coats for ourselves. I have a hammock. Sorry, we have it all rolled up. I have hammock, blankets, gloves, handkerchief, you know, for spending the night down here. In here we have a lot of other supplies. These are great to have on hand for any broken or sprained legs. They're actually called no-nos, and they're from the hospital for like little kids. We have a dehorner, so we'll be dehorning him when we start feeling his little buds coming in. We have a sling to where if she did go down, we'd be able to hoist her back up if need be. This is also great. It's a brace, but you actually blow it up. Let me think. Oh, we have chucks. We have pulling. We have this cable to be able to pull a calf if we needed to pull a calf. We do not have a calf puller. That may be something that we invest in. Maybe some of you locals want to invest in one, and we can kind of have like a lending library and have that available. I think they run about, like $250 if we all wanted to pitch in $50. Hey, we'd all have a calf puller. I think that's it. I hope this was helpful, and I'll be sure to post our kitting kit next.